Just you 8 guys.
This save is quite a lot.
Well, if 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, if they all busted as well, then that would also solve the problem. Not that I would wish that upon anyway.
Well, that's not.
Corey, we hold the line.
We're going to ruin everyone's night by making them stay.
Because we need to pitch it 5. What's this? I
I don't know what happens. It will be day 3, like tomorrow night.
2.6 million play, all the chip counts are up on the website. Obviously, you can't use your phones while we're up the stream table. We'll step off to the side. Top up to 6 time banks. We're going to play it out for as long as possible. And then we'll see where we're at.
surprise.
But we do have until 3 is curfew.
Okay.
So let's see where we're at in a couple hours. Right? Good luck, everyone. Min cash at the moment is a smooth 4700.
You think he is?
We draw on the button already?
We're about to go.
Spectacular.
Well,
Come on, Jacob.
Bit nervous, Jacob.
A little bit.
Romain, you can have it.
Yeah, sure.
I'll take that.
So close.
Big.
Hold, baby. The heck's the highest.
Oh.
Small. I can cope with small blind.
Small's alright.
Small's better. I know.
Small's actually
Small's
pretty
better
good.
than
I would say this is the third best.
I'm happy. I'm happy you're all rooting for me, guys.
the third best.
I reckon it's the third best.
13 minutes left on the clock of 20, 40, 40.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Back
having.
and small, maybe the same.
They're good to go.
Thanks for having my
Yeah.
back, guys. Thanks for rooting for me.
Wonderful.
It's the classic underdog story, right?
Yes, the classic small blind.
For the win.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, guys. Have fun.
Oh, have fun. Okay.
Not good luck, but have fun.
I'm having fun.
Have fun.
I'm in the green.
That's nice.
Five fold. Great, 80,000. 70 fold.
Natural 9.
Jacob, it looked like you lost a card there. Did you nearly and then catch it? Yeah. Okay, cool.
I was like, wait.
Right. Yeah, just making sure.
Tough.
I also had a mini heart attack. I just feel like this is like the kind of thing you do.
I was just making sure it didn't sneak past you guys.
I'll swap arms next time.
I'd be very keen to see that.
I'm fucking retarded doing these ones. I'm bending over the table.
Headbutt the chip suit.
Yeah, like peel it with my mouth. Lick all the chips.
Four fold. Six raise, 80. Nine all in.
Hey, jump. Same hand, is that?
One fold. Two fold.
Same hand.
Yeah.
Easy decisions? Oh, totally.
It looks like Jacob's communicating what happened, but he's actually just stunned.
He can't believe it.
muttering to
The
himself.
booth actually can't believe it. Is that what happened?
Like, did Romain just fold? Yeah.
There's
he's
no one on
folded.
the other
What's
end.
going
Yeah,
on?
That can't be. Repeat that one.
Let me be.
This guy made the final table. with the
Needle
fold.
for the second team.
Where did this guy get 10 million? What's going on? Do we leave a chip case on 10 or something?
As we welcome you all back to our final table coverage of the grind. Has been a grind to get here, but it's been action aplenty as we are playing for 46,000 AUD up top. We got some of the biggest names in Australian poker on our table, and I welcome one of those names himself back to the booth, Liam Jihu. Welcome back.
4 or 5 times.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me. It was good. Good little break there to have a look at some of the names and stacks here on the FT as we see a stacked FT on this FT, really, with the names of Romain Morvan, Johan, Lees, Corey Van Jarsveld,
You would have needed
Aiden Hildebrand, yeah. A couple of really big names here in the Australian scene. GC Reyes, fresh off his win in the Drakakis Player Championship. So we should see some really good poker here. Looking forward to it.
Jigsy, of course, did take down the Players' Champs. Johan must have took a few hits off stream because he left us with about 1.4 mil and he's returned to the FT with about 700k. And Brody finding the ace king off 3 bigs. I reckon we've gone up to 25.50, but I can't be sure.
It's still 40k. It raised to 85.
40k? Sorry, my bad.
Raised to 85.
And we are going to be all in and called as Brody with the ace king. George has gone from 500k to 1.6 million off stream as well.
That's a fair fight.
the tokenistic Corey Van Jarsveld, that's a fair fight. He's always good for a few. That's a fair fight, says Corey. We did see an ace and a king folded pre, I believe, so it's looking better for George. Sorry for for George's case here, but we'll see a run out.
He's a busy man.
Turn on our fold equity.
If we want to finish by 3 a.m., we've got to get folded.
Yeah.
How can he
This
fold?
might be a way to solve the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck, mate.
Be hopeful.
DM, yeah.
Fuck, I'd be neat if I fold that.
Yeah, yeah.
As Brody going to be all in and at risk for this last 6 big blinds. As Brody flops. Is this a fake gut shot or a real one?
Very real. This is a very real gut shot.
2 overs and a gutty as it's a safe turn for George. Got to dodge an ace, a king, or a queen on the river. It comes in as Brody finds the double up to 10 big blinds.
Never
Just
give up.
under
Holy
11.
You got fold equity.
Yeah.
All the middling stacks wince in pain.
Yeah, they certainly do.
Good
No
call,
page
good call.
up secured. As Brody gives George the good call needle after the hand. I'm not sure about that from Brody. Goodness gracious me. Maybe Brody
Thank you,
is a
Jacob.
bit new to the game. I don't think he was doing that on purpose, but
Thank you, Jacob. You redeemed yourself from the cash games.
And Brody does give Jacob, one of the best in the business, a thank you after the queen on the river.
so all players guaranteed 4,700, and that would have been a $1,050 pay jump for everyone else if the queen didn't come home on the river. 46,000 up top, 30k for second, and 21.8k for third. Most notable here, I think, would be Elizabeth Bousson. Will have the most love in the chat, the most support at home. Came second in this event at the Gold Coast last year, looking to do one better as Brody passes on the ace-3 suited.
We do see Liz here with the open to 80k on the button. It's a very good hand on the button. Ace Queen offsuit. Johan in the small blind, 15 bigs. He's gonna be liking to see an ace in the small blind versus button opening range. That would be against maybe a more normalized chip leader button opening range. I think Johan will maybe respect Liz's button open with a big stack a little bit more than what maybe a Romaine would, considering it, we did see Romaine opening, you know, the 8-6 offsuit kind of hands before and stuff like that. So Johan does make the fold. Romaine in the big blind here with Jack 4 off. So we could see a 3-bet here. It is the kind of hand that you would potentially use the 3-bet with the high and low versus the button open, and we do see that.
Do we have fireworks coming here, Liam?
Well, we know Liz isn't going to fold, right? We can assume that. It'll be interesting to see if she wants to proceed with a call to maybe dominate some of Romaine's bluffs in position. And then we could also very easily see a 4-bet here for value.
What about the signature one-hand swipe all in from Elizabeth? Is that on the table as well?
It's definitely on the table. I don't think she will jam. I think we're more likely to see something like a 4-bet less than all in or a flat. But jam also would definitely be making money, as we know.
Liam, these are raising chips, I believe. That is a stack of blues. That's a 4-bet from Elizabeth Busson.
Is that the 4-bet clickski? Is that the 600k?
We're going to obtain a size for you.
780, I think.
4 raise, 780.
Get out of here, Romaine Morvan. Goodbye to the Jack 4 offsuit. As Elizabeth Busson takes down a great pot, huge pot there. And that is a pot that propels her back into the chip lead. A chip lead which she has held since halfway through of day one yesterday. Incredible stuff from the 80-year-old Elizabeth Busson.
Would have been a great time to show a bluff.
Yeah, I did have a feeling Romaine was going to get a bit cheeky when he peeled the offsuit high-low in the big blind. Those kind of hands.
This would be the last.
Maybe not Jack 4, but maybe more the King 2s and Queen 2s of the world. Would like to have a 3-bet versus button, especially, you know, leveraging his slight chip lead.
It looks like the table are really enjoying Romaine getting put into his place after that hand.
Yeah, it's pretty funny to see a Super Crusher get binned by the 80-year-old Elizabeth, but it's good to see her just, you know,
No
putting the
slouch.
pressure on.
Came second in this event to Dipper last year. No mean feat. And if you were with us a few hours ago, we played that interview between me and Liz. That was a privilege as Liz comes in with a 3-bet with the Jacks. Aiden here with 3% equity. There must have been 2 sevens folded, so I'm not sure what's going on here.
That's great.
I didn't think the 3-bet, I didn't think the pre-flop equities took into account the folded cards, but I'm finding out new information with our brand new skin here, 4-coloured card deck, as it must.
Good sizing as well by Elizabeth, 2.5x. Doesn't need to go too big.
A snap check back as Aiden weighing up his options, going to try and get to showdown as hard as he can as Liz opts to check again. And I have a feeling this one might check through as well. And Liz will take down a $500,000 chip pot, which will propel her to 3 million. And now decides to...
Looks like a merge.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a mergey kind of bet there.
So that will get Liz above 3 million.
We know Aiden has to respect the snap check back range.
Yeah, of course.
We did see
saw
her
that
do
with
it
Spano.
before.
We saw that with Spano as well. Snap
Yeah.
check back the top set.
Yeah, and she did it before with the ace-10 of spades, blind v blind against Sam Adams as well, where she had top pair nut flush draw. So
And wrecked him.
yeah, so we do need to Aiden does know that the snap check back range in a 3-bet pot is definitely still very, very strong. It's not just going to be jacks and ace queen and hands like that. So,
and I've covered a couple of private messages as well as some messages on the chat. I can absolutely guarantee you, not speaking out of school, because Liz is very proud that she is 80 and absolutely putting everyone in the bin. But Liz is 80 years old, doesn't look the best part of over 65, as Darren is going to move all in with 8s for his last 12 bigs. And we'll see if he gets looked up. Remain, snap bins, the king, queen.
good. Good.
Fernanda and Jake have a little friendly bet.
Sorry?
Fernanda and Jake have a little friendly bet.
Oh, do they?
A bet on whoever, last one between
guy?
you and me,
Unlucky Fernando.
Psych, we're going to chop the heads off.
Yeah. They'll have to chop it up.
Same name. Liz, cousin, aunties. Chat, and they were able to see. Saw that last year, so how the family can see that. Sorry. I'm going to say that all again because my sound was off. So it was really good to be able to see Liz's family members in the chat and able to see that interview I was able to bring to you guys at home. I don't think a few of her family members saw that interview from last year, so I'm really proud to be able to bring that interview to you guys at home as Liz comes in with the raise to 100k, and we have gone up a level, 25, 50k, 50k. Liam, doesn't change things too much in terms of the stack distribution.
Good to see Elizabeth in the variance gear as well. APT ambassador Shelley Pooley is coaching business. I think Shelley has made it pretty known that she's definitely appealing to a lot of females in poker, that she wants to bring more spotlight to the game and sort of make more females more involved with the game, which is really cool.
I had Shelley in the booth yesterday, and
be finished by 3.
I had actually met Shelley.
At least me and Johan are out here, mate.
Liv's got a soft spot.
Actually, want to keep it here. If that make us start later tomorrow, I'm happy to be.
I do, Bill? Yes. Yes. Oui, oui.
Yeah, we need to do balance work. Otherwise, just getting cut on my own.
As I was just mentioning to you, Liam, Shelley was in the booth with us yesterday for an hour, and we thought we were going to talk about a lot of hand analysis and go through how she learnt the game, but we just talked about life, and I had never actually met Shelley before yesterday. What an incredible ambassador for the game and for APT. We've got some interaction here. Jigsy has some devious intentions with the King 4 suited. We've seen this hand choose to bluff on a few feature tables here at APT as Duncan gets absolutely out of the way before the chips are being put in the middle.
Devious intentions indeed. Here, this is a very naughty 3-bet with the King 4 suited versus a hijack open at a very strong range, what you'd construct here with George's flat when he's covered with many players to act behind. But it looks like it might work. It looks like it might work. I can't see George peeling this out of position or jamming here. Although I think if he knew that Jigsy had the King 4 suited in the 3-bet range here,
there it is. King 4 suited. I'm going to call King 4 suited the hand of the week here at APT. A hand that you were involved in, actually, on the Goliath when Jen took the King 4 suited to the streets as well. Is there any reason why we keep seeing that hand in these 3 and 4-bet pots, Liam? Maybe explain that one for us.
It's a great question, honestly. I think it might be the new Ace 5 suited, honestly. Like Ace 5 suited maybe is a little bit overdone these days. So we maybe need to change it up. I take a liking, as you know, to the King 6 suited.
Yes, you do.
That's my sort of special 3-bet, 4-bet hand.
I've seen you 6-bet that. I've seen you 6-bet that at Aubrey one time and
Against Troy McLean. Shout out to Troy. I managed to flop 2 pair against him as well. We took it to the streets. That's my sort of, that's speaking of ace 5 suited, here we go. That's my cheeky hand. But King 4 suited seems to be the hand of the week.
Monica Buson in the chat, thank you very much. Just let us know, we've had a few Busons in the chat. Let us know what the direct relation is. If you're a daughter, niece, nephew, auntie, well, not auntie probably, but daughter, niece, nephew, granddaughter even. Let us know the direct relation there, because we've had a few Busons in there cheering on Elizabeth, who has an insurmountable chip lead against some of the best players in Australia. It's great to see. I reckon there's fireworks ahead. Liz has shown that she is not to be pushed around. What about the A7? We're not mucking around here, Liam Chehug. A7-0 under the gun from Elizabeth, back on the horse.
Chip lead, mate. Put the pressure on.
As GC snap folds the ace-jack first, Liz is under the gun open. CVJ might be binning this one as well. Does like to play hands though, but it looks like it's going in the mark.
The wry smile there as she puts in the bin what might have been a little bit of a cheeky open. I think she knows, but
that is what we just saw. As people are going to think Liz is opening a little tighter given her image, but we've seen on stream in the last 25 minutes, she's opening nearly everything as the chip leader, not to be pushed around. Liz really getting on top here. Brody, even after doubling up with the ace-king, still our short stack. Of course, we're playing for 46,000 AUD, one of our flagship events here at the Australian Poker Tour, The Grind. Ever had any luck in The Grind, Liam?
not really. I've cashed it a couple times, min cashed it a couple times, but I've actually never FT'd a grind, but I've had a few like courageous 10ths and 11ths and 12ths and whatnot. Did bag chip lead once in this tournament for day one and didn't cash, so that's another fun one.
Sounds about right, as Aiden outflops Elizabeth here.
Could see a check back here with ace-8. Definitely could see a small bet too.
Those cards have hit the mark incredibly quickly from Elizabeth. Of course, donning the Variance poker brand, as you made a mention of before, a student of Shelley. That's her poker clothing brand. We have a stall. We have a stall here for her out the front as well, if you're keen to get some poker merchandise. Really good quality stuff. Shelley decided, she was talking about starting that business, and she decided she was going to go for quality. A little bit more on the pricey side to get a better quality hoodie, shirt or hat, and you see a lot of Variance poker stuff around the room. So if you're interested in some high quality poker gear, you can get on to Variance_poker on Instagram, and also we have a stall here at APT. Of course, Shelley here, an ambassador with us at APT, cashed this event.
Do see George missing a hand there, not on the table. Interesting.
That is very interesting. Big blind coming up for George as well.
That's a good hand on the button. CVJ hiding the tears, holding the tears back there as the queen opens on the button, gets through.
With the player as competent as Johan in the big blind as well.
The snap fold. It's exactly what you want to see.
Don't know where George has gone, but not the time to be missing hands.
You wouldn't want to be missing hands, no.
As we thank you, Jigsy, for letting us know what George has by putting the cards in the reader. And we did miss them in the end anyway, as Jigs folds the King 7 suited. We're going to wake up with anything if we're here. Johan, no. 9-3 suited. What are we thinking here off 10, Liam?
You could actually flick a limp in with that hand. Also, completely fine to fold too. What would you do there, Jinxie?
I reckon I would bin that into remain, to be honest.
Yeah, I think against a player who wasn't one of the best players in the country, you could definitely get away with a cheeky limp. You can definitely get yourself in trouble against remain.
For sure.
It's also pretty hard seeing.
I think we have two shorter stacks than us as well.
Yeah.
Sub 8.
George, go.
You are right about that, though. I didn't realise that there were two shorter stacks. Yeah, in that case, I'd definitely fold. Didn't catch that, so good pickup from me, mate. Interesting to see George, yeah, just not at the table.
It's pretty crazy. He's back now, but he missed his big blind. So
we do see an absolute piggy open here by GC.
On live now.
Potentially, the only glitch we have on the stream potentially is that. Oh, you know why? So sometimes we can pick up the previous hand, but what I'm thinking there, that could have been his cards, and Jigsy decides to open the Queen 4 whilst George is sitting out of the big blind.
That's what I was
still
thinking.
a little outrageous from the great man Jigsy, but
It's a little out there, but when you flop two pair.
and when you're up 30k for the series after winning the Players Championship, you got a bit of pep in your step. Sure, Queen 4 is the combo we'd take there, but he's down there and we're up here, Lamb.
Make a mess of it for him.
Yeah.
Good call, Jigsy.
Jigsy known for more of an unorthodox feel type of game,
Oh, yeah, they're associated.
which
Yeah.
a little bit of vitriol for me when I first started playing the series, because everyone was saying, oh, Jigsy played this hand really interestingly and he did this and that, but they were talking about something else. They were talking about Jigsy and they always thought they were talking about me. Obviously, nearly have the exact same nickname. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I didn't do that in that hand. I'm certain I wasn't even at the table, as CVJ folds the 5s in the low jack. Would you look to open that up, Liam?
Oh, look, I definitely don't hate the fold there. ICM definitely discredits the value of the small pairs a lot more. Obviously, you want to have be more weighted to some high card equity, some high card blockers, especially when you're opening into people that cover you and as players as competent as the people on the left. I don't hate the fold there as a middling stack.
Fair enough. The time is.
Liam Jehu in the booth with us, providing some expert hand analysis. Been a good series for you, Liam. Third in the Goliath for 27k. You redefined what it meant to survive with a chip and a chair. You probably will never do that again for the rest of your life, I wouldn't have thought. All in for 25k at 20k big blind, and you spun that up to a third place finish. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever experienced the whole chip in a chair facade.
Did you actually have a solitary 25k chip left, or was it
Nah,
made up
I
of...
wish I could say it.
No.
I had five 5k chips. I wish it was a solitary 25k because it would have been so much better.
It was still one big blind.
I actually today did lose a big all in against George actually in this tournament, the grind, 9s versus aces all in pre, and was left with the solitary 1k chip at 3k, 6k. I took a photo of it, sent it to the chat, my group chat with my mates, and I said, I've seen this story before, so I was hoping for some sort of spin-up story. I actually did manage to turn the 1K into 10K. I 10x'd it and then busted next hand to Aiden, actually, who's also on the FT. So
There's a curfew though.
What I find pretty incredible about your spin up, you went from 25k to 1.5 million in, it felt like 10 minutes.
That would be
yeah, it was about 20 minutes. It was pretty outrageous. Yeah, it was just a 25k into 115, so a 5x, and then 115 into about 275, and then 275 I tripled into 750, and then I won a big hand versus Toby, and that put me 750 to about 1.4 mil. I had Jack 10 versus Ace Queen on Jack 10, 9, 8, Jack. So I had a nut full house versus a straight, and that propelled me to about 1.4 mil from 25k in about 20 minutes. Yeah.
Well, if you are listening at home, that's proof that you're just never dead no matter what. So don't give up when you're in the tournament. Johan won't be giving up. The pocket 10s here for 10 big blinds. This is going in the middle.
Would he ever get fancy here and
I was
go for a min
about
raise?
to
Or?
ask you the same thing, but I don't think so with our specific handers. Looks to raise all in, leaving nothing behind. I was about to ask you the same thing, but this looks like it's going to get through. Snap folds all round, and Johan will pick up that pot.
I don't have to come nice.
Starts becoming relevant now.
Oh, for sure. No thanks.
Wow. If I had on that as well, when you used it, I would have been more scared as well. Was that
A couple of shorties here, Brody and Darren, both next to each other as well. So BVB here, big pot here. BVB if it gets around. I don't think it will, but these small blind, big blind pots, when you're putting in 20% of your stack or whatever, they're
Really matter, don't they?
so critical to find the upper half of the deck really in these spots. They can really make or break your tournament outcome.
Liz raised the ace-7-0 under the gun, so I dare say she's going to be getting on the bike with ace-2 suited. As Romain, I reckon he might be gun shy, and we'll pass on this spot here with the ace-7. Jigsy, a whole lot of hand here on the button with queen-jack suited. Probably going to come with call, does so.
It's part of the equation.
Darren bins the ducks in the small blind.
Pretty juicy spot here for Brody to just maybe jump up here. The four bigs, the ace-4 offsuit. Obviously, it's not a great hand, but I don't hate this to maybe go all in. But he does decide to call. It's just pretty cool to go all in there, I reckon, just because you could get the ISO from Elizabeth or
Get it in versus a hand like queen jack, jack 10.
yeah, and you also do get to like triple up as well, which would be cool. I mean, obviously it's a marginal holding, but there's only so much you can be looking for off four bigs as well.
This is the flop Jigs raise was looking for.
It's the best way to experience poker, honestly.
It is frustrating for Brody to be able to have to put in 110k and then fold off with 160 back. Obviously, would have got out flopped.
Ooh, hello, Liz, a non-believer.
Diversify at some stage, right? Hey? Always want to diversify at some stage.
Is this a check call with devious intentions?
Oh, it's certainly something. He is going into the mark, thought about it.
Especially playing MTTs. For sure. Definitely.
So we don't have a huge sample size for our stats that pop up on the screen, so you can ignore those for around the first hour. As we do have Catherine Young dealing our feature table. You'll see her tagging in and out with Jacob.
Just because they want us to speak English
And she is also the co-host of Australian Poker Pulse podcast. You'll find that on YouTube at Facebook. But on YouTube, if you want to catch up on those episodes, they do a great job over there. Troy, Craig, and Catherine. And Liz just unstoppable here. Ace King suited.
Sizing up here, Jixie.
I've noticed a couple of hours ago, Liz chose this exact size 4X with Ace Queen. And then I've seen her also 2x with ace queen, so it might just be how she's feeling at the time, but this is not unusual from Elizabeth. I have seen this before.
Did see Brody just snap mark the ace 10-0 on the button for 4 bigs. No fold equity.
Yep, smart decision there as Liz shows down the ace king suited.
Very nice hand.
Elizabeth's been absolutely slapped with the deck so far.
Yeah, she
with
has.
This FT.
Yeah.
A lot of people would probably assume on the table that she's leveraging the chip lead, but in reality, she's just been getting dealt top 10% hands every hand.
Well, she did raise the ace 7 under the gun.
That is true. That is true.
And she fought back. She had the cards to fight back versus Romain, but she could have called that spot, decided to 4-bet the ace queen as well, but it's definitely getting some good distribution.
Unfortunately, I had to defend my big blind.
Johan bins the queen jack there off 12 in +1. George folds the queen 9 suited, and Darren is going to put his last 5 big blinds in with the kings. Let's see if we get looked up by anything. It's looking unlikely. Darren will get that one through.
He's gone all in more than I have.
It's a good hand to see for 4 bigs.
Certainly
No
is.
one's called him yet.
We open the queen 9 suited off 30 there if we're George into
He's got a bit more equity.
CVJ, or we pass that one up.
I can't remember if it was before.
I mean,
It's been a long night.
I'm probably definitely opening it. I guess George probably was a bit conscious of
Doesn't
the
have much.
sub 5 big blind
George
stacks.
may not have even been in his seat as he rushes back in to get in the hand on time. Elizabeth now over 3 million.
It was fine. I had like
Did
value, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, we do know this for sure. Romain will be opening this one up.
do you know about the hand that happened here on the bubble? No. Tell you that after. You won't believe it.
Yeah. You're on the table.
Yeah.
Aiden Hildebrandt with the decision here. Ace Jack.
That you could definitely mix call and 3-bet here. Aiden does know that he's going to dominate a very large portion of Romain's opening range, and he does in this case as well.
Liz might have had some devious intentions there as Ace 4 suited and Ace Jack go to a flop. The Ace of Spades working for Aiden Hildebrandt. Comes with check. Aiden checks back in his sling. Futsal injury, I'm led to believe. He's got a pretty good lock on this hand. Aiden decides to knuckle this one back and try and get his hand to showdown as we river a few fireworks here. One of the 2 remaining aces in the deck on the river. And Romain is going to go ahead and value bet this one as it's going to be a chop. Something I didn't even realise until Aiden snap called that one off, and we'll have a chop pot there. Aces and 3s with the
Play
queen.
all the trashy stuff. You're like hitting the deck very hard.
7-3 of clubs.
Brody, our short stack, in the danger zone here with 2.5 big blinds.
Since when is that?
Makes it really hard for Darren, Johan, and even CVJ to really maneuver around the stacks
I have to put it in
beside them.
125.
Call it off, yeah. No fold equity, all good.
get the feeling, you know, the read's going to make a full house or flop one.
With the capital.
Hear a bit of strategy talk on the table.
Well, I can't.
It was close. It was one of those hands. Was like, yeah, I could.
Run it, yeah. Get a little inkling, a little tickle.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually when my read.
Who's your pick, Jinxie?
From 16 left, my pick was Aiden, but maybe for content purposes, Elizabeth taking this one out would be unbelievable for APT.
I'll get it in good knowledge.
But
That's how it goes.
even though Remain sitting here with 2 million, I think it's Aiden's time. And this looks like George's going to raise it up with the ace-king. Aiden had a couple of big runs recently in the last 6 months, but probably licking his wounds a little bit. But here's my pick to take this one out. I feel like it's Aiden Hildebrandt's time to really take down the 46K. Johan defends the King 5 suited there to no avail. And
Look at that, Elizabeth, 8% at showdown. She's just taking it, taking him down.
it's pretty incredible.
It's an unheard of stat. Sub 10% went to showdown. Just taking it down on the flop or turn. Let us know who you're supporting in the chat, guys. We've seen a lot of love for Elizabeth. Let us know your tip as well. And let us know where you're tuning in from as well.
Mate, you wouldn't know because you were on the final table, but in the Goliath FT, mate, Chicago, Illinois, across America, we're tuning in to watch Jen. All over the place as we might interject that one as Brody could be on his way out the door as Elizabeth has just whacked in the Queens for infinite here.
That's a bit overkill, isn't it?
And if there is no 9 on the flop, turn or river, clubs and hearts live as well, but Brody finds 9s for 2 big blinds. Pretty good.
Wasn't good enough.
Wasn't good enough.
Make a lot of sense.
Until we see the run out.
All over. Dead to a... No, dead.
Hearts.
Hearts, sorry, apologies, didn't see the hearts, as it's all over now for Brody. Great run for Brody O'Flynn, and we're going to lose Brody in 9th place. 4,700, 3.5 buy-ins. If you won 3.5 buy-ins in poker every day, you'd be a very, very rich man, wouldn't you, Liam?
Well, I did about 3.5 today, so
He's won your buy-ins.
he has. We swapped, yes.
Elizabeth.
And
Romain had the fake sweat in the big blind. He peeled the king jack off. It would have looked like kings for a minute.
as Darren and Johan still short here.
Oh boy.
A function of that really handcuffs stacks like CVJ, even George. And we've got these 2 stacks below 8 bigs.
Yeah.
25, 50K, 50K. 8 left.
King
Braden,
cycle.
Jinx, and Liam Jihu bringing you the final table coverage of the grind. Of course, Liam in the booth with us, 3rd in the Goliath for 27K. Had a really good year. Good to get his expert analysis. We don't need expert analysis to know that we're raising ace-king suited up here if we're Aiden Hildebrand. As Romain comes with call with the 5s, and George snap calls the Riazati in the big.
The Riazati,
And he has flop bottom pair with the Riazati.
Can you tell us the story there? What's the Riazardi, mate?
Well, Riazardi actually folded the Riazardi on stream yesterday in the feature bounty. I was fuming, and he folded it, and he gave me a wry smile. I think he knew he didn't want to fold, that he had to fold the Riazardi. The 4-2 suited, as Aiden. Will be mixed checking and betting here on this flop multi-way, Liam, you think, as the fives go into the mark, as George continues here with the Riazardi, and we'll see a turn. Backdoor flush draw as well.
That's a check raise, Jixie.
Oh, good. Oh, Jesus.
That's a check raise to 225. I actually don't mind it with the bottom pair. Backdoor straights and flush draws working. I actually do not mind that at all. He knows his image as well, George, and
Aiden not liking this.
no, it's a good little merger. It's a good little merger. He does sometimes fold out better, does sometimes get called by worse. And you do want to block some 2 pairs and stuff like that as well. Actually, I'm really liking this check raise.
As I was about to say, Aiden flicks in the call, but that is a time bank chip. He's got 5 or 6 of those left. Got the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw working here as well, just weighing up his options as George takes the Riazardi to the streets.
I do think what Aiden is thinking here as well is that even if he was to call and maybe turn an ace or a king, I don't think he really loves his implied odds. I don't think he thinks George is just going to start stacking off with a 9 or an ace or a king turn either, and he does let it go.
And we're the only ones in the know here in the booth. There was never going to be a king on the turn or river. All 3 kings folded, so not much equity there doing for Aiden Hildebrand.
How good? Oh, that one. There's another one.
We've got people watching on in Adelaide and Perth, but there seems to be only love for CVJ and Liz in the chat. Perth, it might be a reasonable hour in Perth. It's 1:20 local time, which means it's 10:20 in Perth, I think, potentially. As Liz, if we saw the ace 7-0 under the gun, I reckon the ace 6 is getting raised in the hijack. She does agree. 11:20 in Perth. Apologies there. As my boys take on the Freo Dockers over in Perth tomorrow, Liam. Do you reckon we're a chance?
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game, actually. Doggies playing pretty decent footy this year.
Hey, we're a lot better than I thought we were going to be.
Playing some pretty decent footy, but Freo have been a bit subpar this year. A lot of people thought they were going to jump back into the 8. They've got such a nice, young, talented list, and look, they haven't played well, but Freo at home, or just never going to be easy. That home ground advantage is so big over there in WA. It's not going to be easy. You guys do seem to perform pretty well in Perth, though, from history. You do well. You do perform well in Perth, so
I think if we think we're going to be contenders, it's a game we shouldn't be dropping.
If you can get Darcy off the leash, I mean, I think Pierce is a pretty good defender.
Yeah.
He's a good matchup for him as well, very tall. You need Libba in there. Libba needs to perform well, but I think you definitely got a chance.
As something I didn't think of, both of us being from Melbourne, it's actually daylight savings crosses over tonight. So I'm not sure, do we gain an hour or do we lose an hour, you and me? I got...
Here?
No, the daylight savings doesn't exist in Queensland. So I'm just thinking for us when we go home or tomorrow, what time it's going to be for...
So it'll be the same time here, is it?
Yeah, actually it would be, wouldn't it?
Because it's there, we're an hour... When we fly here, we gain an hour. When we fly back, we lose an hour. So we gain an hour. Because we gain an hour.
We gain an hour,
yeah.
Yeah, there you
Because
go.
if we flew back yesterday, it would have gone forward an hour, so we would have lost it. But now we won't lose that. So we do gain 1 hour.
Daylight savings lessons in here from us.
Thanks, Damo.
As this is going in, Darren moves all in with King Queen suited. It's going to get through with the 6-4 offsuit of Aiden Hildebrand. As I think, Liam, are you going home back to Melbourne before the APO, or will you be sticking around in Queensland, maybe driving down, or what are your plans?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely head home before APO. So I've got that booked on the 17th or the 18th. So I've got about 10 days. I might stick around in Brisbane for maybe another couple days and just have a little bit of a chill, maybe play some cash, and then head over to Melbourne for about 10 days. I have Ultra on Saturday.
There might not be an APO for you at all. If you survive Ultra.
Yeah, I do have Ultra Festival on Saturday, which would be cool. But yeah.
Did you see any clips of the Miami Ultra in Miami over the last week?
Yeah, I have. I did see. I was listening to the Dom Dollar John Summit set today. It was so good. It was unreal.
I might interject here. 9 bigs in +1 for Johan. What are we thinking here, Liam? Well, we're not +1, are we? We're in the low jack. No? Yeah, we are in the low jack. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the low. No, it's not the low jack. It's under the +1. It is +1. Romaine's the low jack. It's probably maybe slightly loose, but I think Johan knows that he's probably got extra fold equity. People are going to be playing a little bit tight on this FT. Someone that's not going to deviate is going to be Romaine, and he does make the call here with a dominating ace-jack. Suits also covered to the spade. Jigs folds the ace-10.
Right, boys.
And Johan knows he's in pretty bad shape here. He'll propel himself to just under 20 bigs if he can find a queen, which he'll do on this flop. It looks like there's a queen on there. Only 2 outs remaining for Romaine, and that is a very quick and easy double up for Johan. And one of New South Wales' best players is back in the mix here with 20 bigs. What a final 8 we've got. Some of the best players in the country, Romaine Morvan, namely, and they're all covered by the 80-year-old Elizabeth Busson. If this isn't an advertisement for No Limit Hold'em poker tournaments, I don't know what is.
Do you see someone in the chat here asking if players are allowed to wear headphones? The answer is yes. Some operators, I know that the Star, for example, don't allow headphones on feature tables, but it's all good here at APT, which I think is good. I like wearing headphones when I play.
You are a headphone. You always have the headphones in.
Yeah, I'm a headphone guy, yeah. I need them. I get too bored otherwise when I do something silly, so I do need the headphones. It actually annoyed me when I wasn't able to wear headphones on the Star City final. Star City final tables because of the...
Probably more of a function of being in the casino for Star. Like, obviously not going to allow something like that, as we have some interaction here. Ace-Jack versus Ace-King suited. Always 3-betting. Does agree.
Did see a 3x open from George. It's interesting. He does deviate his sizes a little bit.
Liz probably really doesn't want to fold the King-Jack suited, but feel like after a bit of time, this might go in the muck. Doesn't want to fold. Feel like she might come to the correct decision in a little bit of time. As Liz completely and utterly dominating the FT here. George in a bit of a spot after this 3x race. Oh, he's going to come with call. No. He's slow rolled his lamp.
Those aren't calling chips.
As George comes with call here with the ace-jack. Could have fireworks. Just under $1 million in the pot already. In this 3-bet pot, George leads $500,000. He leads half pot into Aiden Hildebrandt with the nut flush draw. We know up here he's got one out. This is certainly on the unconventional side. Don't see too many leads in these 3-bet pots here, especially on final tables. This might just be going all in. We're going to take our equity and run it versus whatever George is telling. Goodness, George might have just put 500,000 chips into the abyss here. And George may be lamenting how he got himself into this position, but I dare say these will be going in to the muck pretty quick.
And just to respond to the message that the stream's got a 25 players. No hard
And just to remind the viewers at home, we commentate this to you off the delay, so we're seeing it as you're seeing it. There's no way to be able to see anything live. We commentate this to you in our little dungeon upstairs off the 25-minute delay, which is sometimes we aren't able to bring you up-to-date information from outer tables, but we think for the integrity of the game, that's a lot better for us to commentate the action to you from the delay. As George takes a big hit there with the ace-jack there. Liam, thoughts?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think the dog bet was a little bit unorthodox on the 10-5-3-2 clubs. Obviously, it did just run into the top of range. At the end of the day, if George was to, not have a really strong hand, like whoever's in that flush draw, it might have worked.
Aiden, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Aiden.
As 5-4 suited, going to get it looked up by Liz here. Flats the ace. This could be it for Johan.
It will be it. Well, I mean, he will be all in here, Johan. No way he's not going all in, and there's no way that Elizabeth's not. Oh, goodness. Okay.
This is sorcery. This is sorcery.
I'm witnessing a different level of poker here. I'm shocked. I mean, maybe Elizabeth just had a really strong flat range.
Yeah, and that's why Johan has decided not to jam.
Card reader could also be wrong.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is, as Corey could have taken that one down on the flop. Potentially, maybe if Liz could have peeled one off. But unsure as it will check over to CVJ again. Oh no, it's still on Liz.
Good spot for Johan there to squeeze jam.
I think you and I would both be out of the tournament in that case.
Further to your point, and that's why we're up here.
100%. Sub 20. Maybe Johan has correctly deciphered that flat range is really strong. I had a feeling Liz was not aware it was on her, so we'll see how.
I think facing no aggressive action, it might be a check. Yeah.
As we need a ruling here, Liam, unsure what's occurred.
Yeah, it is true. Corey's just said so. Liz didn't realize it was. Liz didn't realize that it was on her, and she used 30 seconds. So some of the players are saying her hand's dead. It's not. It's just a forced check due to no aggressive action. But she will be required to hand a time bank in.
Unfortunately, it's going to be. We're going to take a time bank, and then you're going to get 30 more seconds. A time bank, please. A time bank.
I mean, you're going to get me to fold like
It's the first time bank Liz has used all tournament.
It actually is. It actually is. And it was forced by the TD. And after all that, Liz leads this turn. As CVJ is going to get looked up here with 5 high by ace high. Gives another glance over to CVJ.
Such an interesting hand, this one. We saw probably an unconventional flat in the small blind from Elizabeth. Should probably be a 3-bet, but she decided to flat. Managed to keep the dominated king-queen offsuit in. It was wizardry from Elizabeth to keep the king-queen in to induce the jam. It was even more sorcery from Johan.
She puts it down.
Corey's got the wryest smile on his face. He's so happy to get that one through, playing the board effectively.
Yeah.
It was a speculative call on the turn by Corey. I do sense he had some devious intentions. I think he's possibly picked up that Elizabeth does play pretty quickly.
Maybe.
And she did seem a little bit tentative on the turn there, but also it could have just been a little bit of confusion with the position of the button.
It's also literally the worst possible hand we get to the river with. There's no other worse hands Corey could possibly get to the river.
They all
On
don't
6, 6,
think I
7,
would bluff you.
10, calling the turn with 5 high. It's just got to fire the river there and hope Liz folds a hand like she's got. It's all happening here in the grind final table as Ling Ji Hu joins us.
And George
Darren.
departs.
Darren is going to put his last 9 in with Jack 10 suited. Looks like it's getting through.
Good jam here from Darren.
Love to see
I'll
it.
make sure I give you a nudge if I think you might have fallen asleep again, yeah. I'll watch out for you.
As if you are just joining us, we did lose Brodie O'Flynn in 9th place for 4,700.
Is that your family?
Nice final table experience there for Brodie. Of course, $46,000 up top. And Elizabeth Busson, second in the grind last year, looking to one-up herself in the 2025 version of the grind. And we are hearing a few stories. She was, Liam, you mentioned she was extremely short. Or maybe Crilly mentioned before that
Me too.
it was under 4 or 5 bigs was Liz early on day one and spun that up to what is a final table chip lead as Jigsy raises the King Jack.
Up to you.
And 80-year-old Liz Busson contemplating her decision here with ace-4 suited. Puts that one in the bin.
Thanks, Catherine. Thanks, Catherine.
Yeah.
Hey? What's that? Oh, your sister has good taste.
Friendly table chat by CVJ. Mum watching on at home.
Sorry? I think
Yes, certainly agree with you, Shelley. Lizzie is a gangster. There's no doubt about it. 80 years old. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. If I'm still breathing at 80, I'd be happy, let alone chip leading the grind FD. I've played the event 10 times. I've never had the chip lead. And Liz here about on her second FT. It's incredible. It really is. Obviously, not speaking out of school either. As I said before, Liz, extremely proud that she's 80 and matching it with the best we've got to offer. Aiden Hildebrand has very sneakily chipped up to 2.6 million. 16 left. Liam, he was my pick. But might have had a little bit of a gift there from George in the 3-bet spot with Ace Jack. But we take those After flopping that up flush draw, Aiden's going to be really tough to beat now. Remain down to 1.2 million. As good to see you in the chat, Shelley. It was amazing to have you in the booth yesterday, but I do see it looks like you've bagged the main event. 3 start stacks, so congratulations to you on to day 2. It's about 150k guaranteed main event.
Jigsy Jams, King 6, big one has King Queen at risk.
As Jigsy jams the small, Darren wakes up in the big with King Queen, and he is dominating the all-in of Jigsy.
Needs to be at least 2 clubs.
Yes, he's got to dodge a 6 to stay alive, and not only stay alive, it'd be upwards of $1 million, as there's a 6 in the window for Jigsy Reyes. But it's not over yet. A queen or a 10 for Darren. 2 of those outs have been folded. A jack on the turn adds some outs here. It's going to be 9 outs left in the deck. Once for Darren to stay alive. Or will the 6 hold of Jigsy Reyes? It does, and that is the end of Darren Boyd. That is a bad beat. Very, very unfortunate end for Darren, and we'll lose him in 8th place. As very standard action
No
there
comment.
as Jigsy puts that one in.
Nice hand, Jigsy.
And we've got 8 left. Sorry, apologies. Darren leaves us in 8th. We have 7 left here in the grind. 46,000 up top. Don't go anywhere. Liz Brousson in prime position to take this one down. Aiden Hildebrandt really getting after it as well with 2.5 million.
It's like a Brisbane thing.
There for you, Jacob.
That's just it, mate.
Just in case you need a little bit more time.
See Jigsy here pick up the 9s on the button. I think blinds may have gone up. 65, yes. Blinds have gone up to 30k, 60k, 60k here. Down to 7 here in the grind, playing for $46,000. Aiden defends the big blind here with ace 10. A couple of really good hands here, button versus big blind. Do see check on the flop here. Should be able to hear me now, Shelley. Let me know if it's working. Do see a bet and a call here. Aiden does river a 10. Did float the ace high and has rivered second pair. Definitely could see a value bet. Does go check, I believe. Yeah, it does. Aiden does win. Chipping up now, Aiden. Almost equal chip leader with Elizabeth. But yeah, Aiden up to 2.8 million now, so right up there with Elizabeth, and we know how good Aiden Himmelbrand is as a player. Doesn't play as much anymore. Did tell me that he's back into full-time work now, but
Mate, and killing it. You wouldn't believe the business him and his brother have started, but it appears as if baby clothes are very popular. So we've lost one of our great cash game players to baby clothes. Everyone that's ever played with Aiden knows that he's a beast, but you know, if you're just new to poker and been playing in the last 12 months or a fan of our streams, Aiden wouldn't be a familiar face or name. But if you've been playing before that, he is one of the best we've got to offer. Very high stakes cash game player.
did tell me he's going to be able to play a bit more now with the arm and the sling. So maybe he injured himself on purpose just so he could get back into the ring.
I think as well, he actually final tabled the huge 2.5K at APL Millions. 8th or 9th there for about 20 or 30. Aiden's sevens are going to hold up on that King 10, 10, 8. And he's going to put himself into the chip lead with that pot. I'll claim this one. I did predict 16 left. Aiden might be the one to beat. He's certainly showing it now. A lot of big spots for Aiden Hildebrand over the years haven't gone his way. This could be the one that propels him back into the spotlight.
Yeah.
Even if it does, see him more at the cash game tables than tournaments, but really good to see him here playing even if he's got the one arm. He's fractured his shoulder a couple of weeks ago playing soccer. And Romain with the ace-5 and +1 goes into the bin.
Yeah, just what you were saying before. Yeah, Aiden did final table the Centurion at APL Millions just gone came 9th for $25,000. Was his that is his second highest score actually in his career. The highest score did come back in 2020 at APT. You were saying it before in Brisbane. 2020 October series came first in a $330 high roller for $27,000.
Oh, how many runners did that get?
It must have been towards the 500 runners mark. 363. First for $27,000. That's a huge turnout. Fresh off COVID, obviously.
Yeah, post-COVID. As Romain will look to raise this one up. Just plays the tournaments for fun, does Aiden. Plays very high stakes cash and very good at it too. And he's showing how it's done here in this 1K buy-in. $1,250 grind FT. As Liz hasn't folded the Queen 7 off versus the under the gun raise. I've got a feeling she may not have seen the under the gun raise looking at the chips in her hand. This is the second time Liz has not noticed, and she's looked over again. It's going in the bin.
The Sunnies would be vision impairing, I'd imagine.
How many runners
Inside.
how many runners that $300 get?
363.
Goodness gracious. We were very keen to play poker post-COVID.
Johan does actually have Romain dominated here.
Calling again with the King Queen. Thoughts versus the under the gun raise? Probably always coming with call, Liam.
Yeah, I think it's good. Keep in the hands that you dominate versus Romain. Obviously, his range is not going to be too wide opening into Aiden and Elizabeth, but he's still going to have some suited broadways for sure that Johan dominates. But when you call out of position and you get the 8-4-2, a C-bet will get it done.
Look at the aggression frequency from Elizabeth Busson, 39%.
It's a long day.
Small sample size, but a bigger aggression frequency percentage than some of the most aggressive players we've got here in the country, Remain included.
It is getting pretty late. I did just catch the end of that conversation with Elizabeth and Corey. She was saying that it's just a bit tired. It is 1:50 a.m. local time.
It is.
Corey did make a note that these are long days, and they absolutely are. It's such a grind. That's why it's called the grind.
It is why it's called the grind, and I have noticed twice now Liz hasn't picked up on a raise or wasn't sure the action was on her, so he's getting a bit late, but we are in a $1,200 buy-in, so, and Liz has been here before, obviously comes second as CVJ with the jacks.
Would like to see a 3-bet here, less than all in, and it does come in. What do you think about this sizing, Jinxie?
You and I disagree on this a lot, but I prefer going a little smaller here. But I think, obviously, when we're in ICM, we can actually get away with smaller 3-bets, especially when we're got a hand as strong as this. I wouldn't mind
300, would you be good with?
I was actually
even less,
thinking
280.
280 I was thinking about, but
Yeah.
CVJ
270, 4.5 bigs.
maybe with a different hand, maybe with maybe only aces, kings, and some other bubbers. I'd decide to 3-bet as a bluff, but I know we can get away with smaller sizes in this spot. Not that this is incorrect size at all, just ask my opinion, but I think Aiden is in the tank here with the 5s.
Is hijack feed cut off? He does have a chip lead. Corey does know Aiden will be getting out of line here and opening.
I don't think this is a spot where Corey's going to take many bluffs. I wouldn't be surprised to see Aiden work this one out.
It is hard to make a pair in this game.
He is the best, Aiden Hildebrandt. We're seeing why. A lot of players could have even put that in. There's no doubt about it, but
Hey, I wish I studied tournaments. I know what to do.
yeah, I just like going smaller there sometimes, especially when we have bluffs. We can spend just a very
Come on, man.
basic function of
man.
spending less chips to gain the exact same result, but in that situation, I don't think it would have mattered too much. It's Jacob back in with us, dealing our feature table. Johan, our shortest stack.
Liz is away from the table, is it?
That would make sense because she snapped in the king queen, but as we can see, she's not at the table.
And Johan with 9s here, and if he does jam, Jigsy won't be folding, and there is a king and a queen directly folded from Elizabeth.
That is true. This is going in. I don't think there's any version of Jigsy Reyes folding this hand.
We saw a queen there folded from Remain as well. Jigsy's most likely to call this, and there's going to be only about 3 cards left in the deck.
550.
We've already seen 3 folded.
Good luck, Johan. That's a fair fight.
CVJ does mention it's a fair fight. It indeed actually isn't. Obviously, only we're to know that. Jukesy's going to have to win with 38% equity. Obviously, the clubs working as well are pretty nice.
Those all-in equities do take into account the folded cards. Johan in a really good spot to find the double. As we get the ace 8-2, got some backdoor clubs, backdoor straight stuff working for Jizz, but Jigsy it really is. There's only 3 outs left in the deck for Jigsy, and it comes in on the turn. That is a heartbreaker for Johan. And it's even more of a heartbreaker than he's going to realise, because there was only 3 cards left in the deck to knock him out. Did have backdoor clubs there as well, but That's a bit of a tough one there for Johan to take, and we lose him in 7th for 7,100 AUD. Not a bad run there from the Sydney sider, Johan Lees. 7K for 7th place.
I remember the first time I got 3-bet.
He's going to look back on that in 25 minutes, Liam, and realise it actually wasn't really a flip. He was in really good shape to...
Yeah, especially on that flop too. It's a very safe flop. Jigsy does prove, though, he is pretty inevitable in these spots. He finds a way to accumulate chips, whether it's a cheeky 3-bet or a 70-30 that he finds, or a, just will. When there's a will, there's a way, and he does seem to do this regularly, Jigs.
The brain's trust his way in.
Always seems to have success in these APT series.
Do you know... No more bigger example than that he actually beat Michelle Anunu heads up to win the Players' Champs. How many all-ins or how much good distribution would you need to beat someone as good as Michelle?
Michelle Anunu, one of the most inevitable, destructive, unstoppable poker players on the Australian scene. He's a recreational by heart, but you wouldn't pick it. No. He's the last person you want on your table when you register a tournament. And that could be a 350 monster stack freeze out, or it could be a 5K high roller and you see him on your table and you just know you got to put the seatbelt on and buckle up.
I don't know if you know this. Back in the days when PokerStars was legal in Australia, Michelle is actually a secret online crusher. Took down the Sunday Turbo Takedown $200 buy-in, and Michelle Anunu took that one down for $250,000 back in the early 2000s. And I'm not sure, by the look on your face as I looked over, you didn't know that, but Michelle did take that one down. So he's a secret online crusher, Michelle. So we're seeing why he's getting such big scores here in Australia. But that is fact, 100% true. God knows how many runners that $200 event got, but Michelle took that one down in the early 2000s for $250,000.
US dollars as well.
Yeah, well,
it would have been okay,
Well, it's the same back then. It was dollar for dollar back up until probably 2012.
Yeah.
So,
wow, that's insane.
Not like if it was now, it'd be about 420K, but dollar for dollar back then.
The 4 was an ace. That's the only
Sunday Turbo Takedown champion. As we bring you back to coverage of the grind here. We talk about Michelle Anunu enough on stream.
The levels remain.
As the boys and ladies are having a good time at the table.
It'll keep getting through, I'm telling you.
Let's try again, 125.
Still a bit of poker left to play this series. Jigsy, what do you got on tomorrow?
We are going to stream the main event. Well, it depends what time we finish up here. We could be 3 or 4-handed in the grind. And if we have to come back tomorrow, that would be something like a midday or 2 p.m. start. And we'll be bringing you the end of the grind no matter what, as I might just interject here. We have 2 hands that look like they're about to get all in. Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Aiden's going to come with the click here, and he does. And it's pretty gross for George, but once he's 3-bet to this size, there's no real folding here. He's going to have to put the biscuits in, knowing that he's probably at best flipping, and does get the bad news that he's not flipping.
I did call this in to be Aiden's time, finally. So let's just see if a few years of bad fortune of Aiden Hildebrand turns around here, because if he wins this, he's going to be nearly impossible to beat. Ace-King suited versus Ace-Queen.
We can hear the Queen Ball. Queen Ball's getting absolutely willed into existence. Oh my goodness. And Aiden's got 1 out. We can hear the rail go crazy as the Queen comes in the window. There was about 400 people cheering Queen.
This is the Ten of Spades, the royal flush draw for Aiden Hildebrand. Is this a real run out?
He's turned 1 out into 11. We'll see a river.
Oh, there we go. It's a 10. George is going to find the double. Goodness gracious me. I don't want to preempt anything, but that is the most Aiden Hildebrandt run out that I have ever seen in my life.
We do get
a fake hope.
We got the rail cam here. We got the half of Empire Poker has come up, pint in hand for Taylor Veltmeyer. We do see Jordan Bromley go and console his good mate. What was the run out, buddy? Just the standard, Aiden said.
Jack River.
Remain with a royal smile, and Elizabeth just looks on.
I've never seen anyone run as bad as Aiden, but that actually just takes the cake. Turns one out into a royal flush draw, but still doesn't get there, and it's back on the bike for the Queenslander. As George is chip leader. No, sorry, Jigsy's got 3 million, but George with 2.3 million in chips, good for second here. That is a huge,
face waiting for the Queen to be announced.
He's like,
huge swing in chips. That.
oh, it's ridiculous
Well,
because
for this one,
the other thing is, you know, Aiden would have been sitting with about 4 million, and it would
Mate,
basically
more.
be a good night.
4.5.
Yeah, it would have been a good night for the rest if Aiden's dealing with, you know, the upwards of 80 big blinds, but that has changed the tournament completely. Aiden has taken many of them before. He's going to be back on the bike. It won't phase in.
even Pat's face was a lot of fun.
I couldn't see the Queen. I genuinely couldn't see the Queen because his hand was covering it.
All right.
CVJ, now our shortest stack, fellow commentator for the APL.
And lady, the plan is to skip this next break and get in a whole level.
And we'll be on break. We've got 20 minutes.
Can we take a 2-minute break?
Take a 5 minute, but that's probably that.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Yeah, we'll go and pee and we'll come back and we'll play it.
Good to know that Corey's going to go pee on the break. There will be a 5-minute break in about 18 minutes. We just got word from Pat, the TD.
And Aiden here with the fours back on the bike, and Elizabeth throws the Riazardi into the bin. As Jigsy has 25% of the chips in play here on our final table of the grind, 46,000 up top.
You've got to tell us, Jinxie, what is the Riazardi and where did it come from?
It was, without getting into the weeds too much, it was a hand that Amin beat me with in a very big pot, in a very, very, very big spot in a big tournament in the Gold Coast.
What did you have, mate?
I had ace king, and
you ran into the 4-2.
There was 2 aces on the flop, and I didn't win the hand, and it has since become the Riazardi.
So if you ever playing poker and you peel 4 deuce suited, bonus points if it's 4 deuce of spades.
Yes, correct.
Just know, just like you peel the Doyle or you peel, you know, whatever.
Do you know what the funny
peeled
thing?
the Riazardi.
You know what the funny thing about that hand was that I raised under the gun, and he called in like the hijack, and then when we got it all in on the turn, Amin had turned a flush. I got 11 outs for full house, and 10 outs for full house, and the full house didn't come in. The flush held, and I was just in shock that Amin had flattered me in MP with 4-2 suited. And what really took the cake was he goes, "I'm so sorry, Jinxie. I thought you were in the big blind, not raising under the gun." And I'm like, I think that's even worse. I think I'd take more offence that you would raise 4-2 suited into my big, but that has since become the Riazardi.
And I bet not one person batted an eyelid.
No one did. Absolutely no one. Good fun. Amin's such a gentleman of the game. Just had a quick chat to him before. Second in our 1650 feature bounty here on Friday to Cooper Felton. And took out the Eatons Hill APT main event last year. Banner is in the room out the back.
Pretty beautiful double barrel spot here for Corey with the open ender, range advantage, direct outs to the nuts. pretty nice double barrel spot here. Going to fold out a bunch of 8X. Might even start folding out some Jack X.
Does take the spot. Agrees with you, Liam. Remain looks like he's a non-believer, but he's under a bit of pressure here. He knows Corey is capable of double barreling this spot and does come with call. 1.1 million in the middle as we see a river. A 9 would be diabolical. What are we doing here, Liam? All in?
Oh, look, I think it's a pretty bad hand to triple off. I think it's a great double barrel spot. Not loving it for the triple off. We do block the folds. We block all the Jack 10 and the Queen Jacks and those kind of hands, the 10-9s, all these hands that want to fold.
He sizes his stack up. It's coming, Liam. This looks like... Oh, no, not an all-in.
It's half pot, I think. He's left some chips behind. Romain doesn't like it. He's also one of the best in the business, Romain. We'll see if he'll be able to sniff this one out. It's not a great bluff catcher. Got the 9 in his hand. Don't like having the 9 in your hand here at all.
He knows how capable CVJ is in a spot like this. And I do note, I can see 4 or 5 time banks there for the Frenchman who calls Australia home. And one of those time banks goes into the middle.
I think Corey's aware that Romain will still float a bunch of the Jack X combinations on the turn. So I think this bet is targeting that. I don't think Corey believes he'll be able to get Romain to fold a king. But I don't think he's targeting a king with this sizing. I think he's going purely for the Jack X type hands here. And that's what Romain has.
Another time bank into the middle for Romain Morvan. What are you leaning towards here, Liam? Are you thinking Romain will come with call?
I think he's going to make a fold here, if I had to guess. I think Romain really doesn't like...
He looks suspicious.
He looks very suspicious. He does. I know Romain does tend to maybe be a little bit tighter in these close spots. The chips are just so valuable. If he calls and is right, obviously he's going to have a lot. If he folds and he's wrong, he's almost out of the tournament. If he folds, he still does have almost close to 20 bigs, 15 bigs roughly, 16 bigs, which is a lot to work with. It's a big difference. It does let it go.
The mark.
Well played, CBJ.
I think Romain tapped the table knowing he got bluffed then. Couldn't put that one in as CVJ up towards 2 million now. And that pot will leave Romain our short stack under $1 million for the first time for a long time.
Just so ICM aware, Romain, he knows how valuable that 920k is.
In his hands, especially.
Such a big difference, 920 versus 350. It's got so much fold equity and, you know, capability to do damage. You know, it can still pull off bluffs. You say it, Jinxie, more than anyone. You can raise pre, C-bet, barrel turn, and jam river with 15 bigs.
You can do it with 7, technically. It is true, though, so that might have played into the decision-making there of Romain. As I note, Jigsy did fold the pure Riazardi there, 4-2 of spades under the gun. And Aiden will raise this into George's big. But people don't realise, especially if you're coming from a cash game background, how valuable, you know, 10 to 15 big blinds actually is. And it takes a long time to adjust and realise that your stack is worth a lot of real money, even if you've got 5 to 15 bigs. It's never over until it's over.
Big bet there by Aiden. Great board to big bet on. Jack 9-5, 2-tone.
6 left here in the grind. Every player on this table guaranteed 9,000, 46k up top. And Elizabeth Bousson has had the chip lead for the majority of this event, but is now back with the pack. Jigsy Reyes would be looking to complete one of the all-time doubles, Players Champ into the grind. we are 11 minutes away from a break here. Liam, it's been incredible to have you in the booth. Very generous with your time. And we appreciate it a lot here
No
at
chance.
APT.
Very unlikely unless somebody goes on the tear.
So at the
Always,
moment,
mate.
just-
Always good to get in the booth for a bit. Have a chat.
There's always a spot here for you as we go into the break. 10 minutes away. Aiden, the one-handed peel there.
Fourfold.
Been a bit quiet, Elizabeth. She had such good distribution early.
It's evened out.
Has evened out in the last 30 minutes or so. Romain does let the Queen 9 go on the button there.
To the chip leader.
Well done.
Oh, and Jigsy just has the ace king. Remain with not a deck read, just knew where he was out there. Didn't want to take the Queen 9 to the streets, and it pays dividends. Jigsy gets a walk with the ace king. Chip leader getting a walk with the ace king in the big. Never fun.
Sorry? To watch when we go to break? Or? Oh, yeah. I know. What a great day. Yeah. Yeah, we've done well already.
As you moaned it in for Elizabeth, the distribution is back on her side with the ace jack. Aiden dominated here. Could still defend though. But he puts this one into the mark. Very, very, very... Oh, and just gets shown the good news. Very disciplined there from Aiden.
Thanks, Jacob.
Fuck, I mean, sorry.
Dealer in, dealer out, as Catherine replaces Jacob, host of the Poker Pulse podcast. Got recognised on YouTube a few days ago, and I let her know it was the greatest news she'd ever heard in her life when I told her.
CBJ being mean to you.
You know me.
Meanest guy on the floor.
This is the last place I'm allowed to play.
I don't know why I'm thinking about it now, but I'm just picturing Michael Wicks in his G-Wagon driving off, taken for a pay jump, and I couldn't not bring it up. Oh, good to see. That's hilarious.
Such a good... Copped one of the all-time commentator curse beats.
He did too.
He's got it in. He's just absolutely flopped them to 8% each and just got turned to 0. It was one of the ultimate commentator's curses.
Liz here again with ace queen. Remain folding the king 10 suited there.
He's probably still driving around, ruining that turn card. I think I said turn car because I was thinking about the G-Wagon. Oh, I think Michael will be all right, but yeah.
Oh, very funny. Good to see someone driving a G-Wagon conscious of a $600 pay jump, though. That's not something you'd see too often.
Yeah, it's called respecting the game, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You gotta respect the game.
As we'll be on break here in 7 minutes. Been great to have you in the booth, Liam. And we've certainly had some really exciting decks put out for us to be able to commentate on. Makes our job easier. If you are interested in Australian poker content, check out the Poker Pulse podcast. Catherine, our dealer, is a co-host there. As I mentioned before, we do have a raise and a call here. We aren't sure of what the hands are just yet, but the stream will catch up as Liz has checked some flop of 5-9 queen.
Quick check on the Oh, no.
Yeah, this can be a little bit difficult when the graphics haven't caught up, as this is one of the quickest spots of all time, as it's snap checked back through by both players.
Elizabeth shows down.
Got him.
Got him.
Liz must be winning this one with sevens. Interesting to see what George would have had there.
So we're going to play like another level and a half or something.
What time is it now?
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
No, we're just playing. We don't play half level. We're just going to play like full level.
One and then just bag it early type thing. So obviously this is not going to end before 3.
That's what Pat told me. So.
Such a shame to see events have to bag for
no.
day 3. It's so frustrating. I know Corey. I'm not sure about anyone else. I know Corey has bagged the main
Yeah,
tomorrow at
that's
12
true.
p.m. It's such a heartbreaker seeing the events bag up. I wonder how they'll work it out.
I've got a bag in the main.
Oh yeah, Corey just saying he's got a bag in the main.
What the plan was.
I'd like to just I'd be happy to avoid it, get my buy-in back, but I don't know if I can do that. I've got 30
Corey wants to get his buy-in back for the main if he wants to play in the grind. Probably not the worst.
I mean, he's bagged under start stack. I know this is a fact, so I'd probably be one of my buying back too.
Trying
Yeah.
to have one over us there, CVJ.
I mean, to be fair, I get where he's coming from. You know, being the fact that it's a 2-day tournament, maybe like in future this could just be like a 40-minute blind level
On day 2.
type operation.
Or after
Yeah,
the money.
instead of the 45-minute. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's the solution. Obviously, like we know APT's attracting such good numbers, so we've seen it's like it absolutely almost doubled the guarantee in this tournament. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
does
can't
mean I
disagree
can't
with
leave
you
it. I can't
there.
leave it
Be
Not
interesting to
ideal
see,
going
yeah.
into day
Yeah.
3, but I don't think we do have a time limit here, so
just thinking of poor Liz. I know that at about 12 a.m. she was saying she was tired, and I mean I don't blame her. I'm wrecked
yeah.
this week from playing poker.
am I mean, later would be better for me.
Early would be
Yeah.
terrible, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to work out what the GTO players with day 3 looming.
Yeah, we'll have
Do you know of any other players on this table that have got a bag?
to kick us out at about 3 o'clock.
I think Jigsy does as well. I know for a fact Corey does because I was playing on the same table with him and we had a laugh because we had combined bagged up less than half of an average stack combined. So
Craig Abernathy, you're all over it. Corey won his buying back. Not only did he bag under start, he
Give me 12.20.
now he's trying to bargain a price here of what he wants to forfeit his stack
The
in the
auto
main.
me table 17, and we need a
That's
set
rich
of
from you,
stairs
Craig,
up
because
to
I know
the
you
so I
came
can play
second
both.
in an APT main event
Oh,
after
I
bagging
worry
a
about
very
that.
similar stack, so you know anything can happen. I reckon you bagged 50 or 60k when you came second in the APT main to Nathaniel Hutton, so maybe we can give Corey's buy-in back based on your run in the main at Gold Coast.
maybe the Hanoi chop is the only answer.
I love the Hanoi chop.
Let's do a 70 wage chop on day 2 of the main.
Maybe we can introduce the Hanoi chop here at APT. That would be
He might actually get less than he's buying back with the stack that he's bagged.
120.
CBJ. The threes are good enough for him from the cutoff. Going to be, at the very least, looked up here by George.
George, do you know what you started with? It looks like 1.7 or 1.8 or something. Does that sound about right? Something like that.
CBJ trying to weigh up the stacks here as
Thank you.
he's out-flopped by George. And George finds a very unconventional lead here on the King 10-4. Snap binned by CVJ. As he takes that one down with top pair. Good hand. Bet.
Bad hand. Check.
Check. As George is closing in on 2.3 million.
There's Elizabeth. Don't think she knew she had a break in 1 minute 20 seconds.
No. As we might be on a break, but a short one, and then another level after that, then bagging up. So we'll be here with you for at least another 45 minutes after the break. Not sure what you're going to be doing, Liam. More than welcome to go, more than welcome to stay, but we'll be here for at least another level. And blame you for taking the Uber home, to be honest. Well, you got your car here as well, I forgot.
Christopher will be driving my car home, as I'm very tired. But yeah, we'll see. We'll
reassess on the break.
We'll reassess, exactly, yeah.
So Jigsy looks to over-defend the King 3 offsuit here.
We're still not fading the six-way all-in here on the last hand, so...
And look at this, out flops both George and Aiden. This is very much a Jigsy type of... Yeah, great man. What's happening here? There's only 2 aces left in the deck. They come off on the turn after Jigsy flops both George and Aiden. I dare say this one won't be getting checked through.
Nice little 2-pair combo here for Aiden. Didn't even see the 6 for a second. Always got to proceed with caution on these flush completing boards, especially after a small blind call. Small blind calls always...
George snap calls here.
A lot of suited hands do call the small blind. I mean, point example A, exhibit A, ace-5 suited here, obviously is drawing dead to win here. Needs a king-queen to chop.
It's not it. Continue to value bet here for Aiden, Liam?
Yeah, I think Aiden can go for a nice half pot size here, I think. Don't want to go too big, I don't think. But, I mean, I'm greedy, to be honest. Sometimes I
do agree.
I think maybe a nice 400k sizing could be on the agenda.
I was thinking something around 220, so maybe we'll meet in the middle, see how we go.
Yeah, a great bet if you ask me. 375. I'm greedy, mate. I'm greedy.
So is Aiden and George into the tank here as we're going to be on break. Not sure if we'll have you in or not at the end of it, but if you don't come back in, very nice to have you in the booth, Liam. And he shows the ace and folds. Not sure we'll take the full 15-minute break. It might only be 5 or 10 minutes, but don't go anywhere if you're a fan of any of these players or a fan of Australian poker. $46,000 up top. We'll be back with you very shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back here to the coverage of the APT
Expensive.
$1,250 grind. We are on the final table, 6 left, playing for $46,000. My name's Liam Jehu. I'm joined by Braden Jinx here in the booth. We've got 42 minutes left to play before bagging up for a day 3 tomorrow. Unexpected day 3, obviously. Such a good turnout for this event. 100K guaranteed. Ended up almost doubling that. Good to see APT getting the numbers. Back in the homeland, back in Eatons Hill, where it all began.
Easy.
Couple of superstars of the Australian poker scene on the final table here. CVJ, Corey Van Jasvelt, along with Romain Morvan. Jigsy Ray's fresh off his win in the Drakakis Players Championship. And then Aiden Hildebrand, someone we don't see as much of anymore. Did turn to the cash streets and working full-time, but such a talented player. Good to see him. Then we've also got Elizabeth Busson. Came second in the grind at the last APT. 80 years of age.
Don't know about that one.
And
Coach.
she is absolutely dominating from the whole get-go of today. I've been told by multiple friends that they were stacked by her. Was also told that she was unstoppable and inevitable. Too good was another phrase as well, exactly. And we also have George K. I'm not going to even attempt to say that last name.
George K is good.
George K is good. Did see him have a huge double before Ace Queen, the Ace King. He's got half of North Brisbane on the rail, so...
That was as loud as I've heard. I have heard quieter rails at the APL Millions main event. That was as loud as I've heard a rail for some time.
Loudest rail I've ever heard, hands down, won't even compare, is when Sam Burns was three-handed in the Goliath, and I was on an FT, I was on a 556 max FT on the side table, and I was playing heads up, and I couldn't hear my own thoughts because there was literally about 38 people on the rail screaming 9 because he had ace 9 versus Bert Perry's ace 10, and when he windowed a 9, all I could hear was hold. And it was literally, it was deafening.
There you go. It doesn't surprise me when you start a story with the loudest rail of all time that Sam Burns has got some type of involvement. Took down the Goliath that time, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a Goliath winner. Never goes without saying. He lets me know that he's a Goliath winner. Don't worry. Especially the other day when I came third. He told me it was a cute score.
He came third for probably the amount he won it for, though, right? Nearly.
No, he won it for 61.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was 103 runners, I think.
Huge.
Yeah. Bert Perry came third.
One blue one.
One blue.
Yep.
Yeah, one.
And two of them.
Two left.
Perfect.
Normally I'm good at
At 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
Yes. Yes, Jack.
We'll do a bit of a recap from around the room today. Jared Thatcher, of course, took down the $1,500 Luke Edwards Champion 6-Max.
Now it becomes the Jared Thatcher.
No. The main event winner. So whoever wins tomorrow's main event gets the 7-Max.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you win tomorrow, the main event, you'll get the banner on the roof, about 60 grand, and a tournament named after you at the Sydney Series at the end of July.
The Elizabeth Busson main event. The Elizabeth Busson 7-Max
7-Max.
sounds good.
That would be the most unbelievable. People would fly up to play that, I'd say. We had Tambwe Sadiq win the double bullet for 1,500. And his first ever poker trophy. Get around tam weight. Jared taking down the 7 max as we said, and it looks like the big freeze. That was a 450 buy-in, was it? The 450, 9,500 up top. We're on our final table there. Some notables. Luke Irving all the way down. Luke Irving all the way down
Rockhampton
from
represent.
Rockhampton.
Much up that way.
He's the short stack, and Connor Burns second in chips on that FT
Yeah.
with the chip leader.
And he's chip leading the amount of vodka lime sodas consumed as well, from what I've heard.
I'm going to have a crack at this. The chip leader is Vivek Andana Banana.
Heads up in the big freeze.
Oh, yeah.
I think I did a not a bad job. Vivek Andana Banana. Banana? I think I'm close.
It was a battle though.
No, it's Vivekananda.
Vivek Kananda.
Yeah.
Kananda. Kananda.
We might pull it up.
Vivekananda.
There we go. Chip leader with.
Tuning into my Indian heritage. But I think
Oh no, you should know that.
Nah,
You have it.
that's more like a Sri Lankan name.
Yeah.
I reckon you might have gone through that
And
one.
9,500 up top in the big freeze, of course. And the last trophy winner of the day, the Saturday late night Super Frenzy Turbo, taken out by Sharon Wood. That is
Hang on a second.
the 5th trophy won by a female here at APT. And I see Jamie Hunter there coming third. Haven't seen Jamie around for some time. Shout out to Jamie, third there for $300. So congratulations to all of those players today.
Already 175.
As Liz on the bike here with 3X. See, I mentioned to you before, Liz likes to change up her sizes quite often.
That's 4080K. 4080.
You win.
It's a
2.2?
2.2, yeah.
2.2.
Exactly 2.2. GTO. Very GTO. George hasn't let go of the natural 9 yet, the small blind.
Something has happened here. George asking for a ruling regarding something. Jigsy folds the 2-3 suited. 6 left here. If you are just joining us, we are in the depths of night, 2:30 local time. 6 left in the grind. We are playing for 46,000.
It sure is.
She should be in the money. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
3 hours. I mean,
Probably be close.
true.
Yeah.
Remain short now. Ever since that 3-bet with the Jack 4, it's all been downhill for the Frenchman. Calls Australia home now. Hasn't been able to get much going.
He's actually from the Caribbean. He'll be the first one to correct you on that. He's from the Caribbean. Speaks French.
He has a French flag on his Hender mob, though.
I know. He always says that. If you ever call him French, he's very, very quick to let you know that he's from the Caribbean and not from France.
Well, he needs to let the Hendon mob fellas know that.
I reckon if you got as much money and you've made as much as a man, I don't think he cares what flags on a website. I know I wouldn't.
True, as Ace King goes into the middle for his last 6 big blinds.
And
I apologise, he's raised none all in, but it doesn't matter. It was getting through anyway.
the nut low in the big blind.
Elizabeth Bousson has been chip leader for 90% of this tournament from day one all the way through to this broadcast right now. We appreciate our viewers tuning in with us. 2:30 local time. As us Melburnians up here in the booth, myself, Liam, and two-time APT trophy winner, I think, Chris Kokonos in the back with us as well. We all gain an hour of time when we fly back on Monday to Victoria.
Two-time trophy winner, Chris Kokonos in the building.
Two-time APT trophy winner,
Thank you, good sir.
Chris Kokonos. I guessed that too, and I've got it in. How many APT trophies are we holding, Liam?
Ooh. Does this include ones I've been scammed out of?
No,
or
no, actual trophies you have at home or at your mum's house.
I've got...
APT.
Yeah. 556 max, 450 PLO5, 600 monster freeze, and then a plethora of second places.
So 3.
3 off the top of my head, yes. I think 3.
Yep.
Maybe 4. I'm trying to think if there's any other one.
Not a bad record for someone of your age, and as you said, a plethora of 2nd to 4th places.
Too many.
Too many. Blind v blind confrontation here as Aiden has the gutter. Jordan, oh my God, Jordan. I just saw Jordan Bromley in the background. That's why I said that. CVJ with top pair.
3-4.
Aiden looking for one of the 3 remaining 7s left in the deck. Aiden chooses not to fire a double barrel on the 4-turn. King on the river.
Seems like a somewhat mandatory bluff here from Aiden.
Feels like it. I reckon Aiden will figure this one out. Doesn't want to show down 8 high. Looks like 200. Exactly half pot, and Corey will snap that one off. 8 high, no good.
What was he targeting there to try and fold?
I was just kind of thinking that myself. I'm starting to wonder if that was a mandatory bluff, even though we have 8 high. As soon as you asked me that question, I was thinking, I don't even think a 6 is folding there to half pot. I'm not sure. I'm more thinking the fact that I'm probably thinking along the lines of Aiden that I don't want to show down 8 high, but once the half pot goes in, it's hard to find a 6 that we have that we fold, especially a jack. So maybe that's a spot for us to look up later on.
Maybe just targeting some high cards, some queen highs, some 10 highs maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they called the flop though, so there's not many of those left. Even if king high calls the flop, he makes a pair on the river. Tough little spot there. Good to think about though.
Good luck. Good luck. You mean it? So I actually really need it. If you're here.
GC's been quiet. He's had chip lead for probably the best part of an hour now. We haven't seen too much activity. Did get a walk with Ace King.
He did.
Unfortunately.
Hoodie and Sunny combo, Liam, Jehu. Is that something that you've ever
But I love him.
decided to put on at the table? Both the Sunny
Probably the
and
best
Hoodie
though,
combo?
right?
I have
Excluding days you've been hungover.
I have rocked the Hoodie Sunny combo
It is
as a bit of a laugh. Can't say I've ever fully invested into it. As a bit of a joke though, I don't mind getting around the Unabomber look. It's a bit funny, you know.
to level up a lot of hard
I was rocking Matty Gin's Louis Vuitton scarf for a period in Townsville, which was cool with the Louis Vuitton Sunnies as well.
He loves those Louis.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice actually. Yeah. But what about you? You're not rocking the hoodies.
Never done it. I've never done the hoodie or the sunnies.
Sunnies you have.
Yeah, and
There was a
always been on a
period.
Sunday.
There was a period of time where the Sunnies were trending.
Yeah.
I think it was like that late, maybe early 2023. All the boys were getting on the sunglass train. It was just kind of becoming a trend.
I can tell you, the first time I decided to do it, and it was a night. It was the day after a night that you and I went out, and the lights were hurting my eyes, so I decided to put the sunnies on, and I ran relatively well, so I think I did it for the next little bit. But no, I'm not a sunnies.
Was this in the country of Victoria?
Yes, it
I remember that.
And
I remember
another time in the Gold Coast as well on a Sunday.
It's always a Sunday 10 a.m. to start, isn't it?
Is there anything worse?
It's never just a Friday 6 p.m. Nah, mate. It's always the Sunday 10 a.m.
As Corey takes the Jack 7-0 here on the button.
Do you have one of the great stories where that exact day you were referring to, Pat Barber had to sleep on a floor of Simon Wehesh's hotel room?
I was in that hotel room as well.
And then woke up on no sleep and ended up winning a main event day 2 on no sleep. The Sunnies were firmly on that day.
They were. Don't bring that one up, please. As Corey fires one in here. It's going to be called by Liz. Drew's here to 2-pair. Corey with a flush draw. Liz decides to lead this card.
He's got the gutter working as well. Interesting to see if Corey wants to... how he wants to proceed here. I mean, you could justify all 3 options.
Folding's not one of them for me, but it looks like that's going into the mark. Oh, goodness me. Okay.
I guess
you'd have thought the flush draw could have been completely dead.
Yeah, and I don't think Corey is going to think that Elizabeth's leading range is very weak. I don't think he's going to credit a lot of maybe one spade bluffs there. I think he's probably going to tend more to an assumption that it's going to be some made hands like the one she had, 2-pair. Would have been interesting to see a call or a raise there, though. I think all 3 options are completely justifiable.
Don't disagree. I kind of feel like if we choose to raise the Jack 7-0, we've got to get down and dirty at some point. Gutter on a flush draw, hard to bin that, but can't fault him either way.
King 6 suited here in the small blind for 6 bigs. I can actually safely say that I put my house on this one going in.
Certainly will be. Let's just see if George K wakes up with something in the big.
He looks interested. He said he hasn't seen his cards. He looked interested. It looked like he'd maybe peeled them.
I agree with you, yeah. I thought that too.
Jack 4 suited here, Jinxie, for 6 bigs.
It's closer than you'd think, but I'd probably pass on this, mainly because I really just don't want to double remain up. Best player on the table for sure. I'd rather keep him short. I don't think Jack 4 suited is doing well enough versus Remain.
It's one of those ones where George knows that Remain's finding the correct combos, and there are a bunch of combos of hands that George is ahead of. But then exactly what you said.
He's called. He's called. So he's on your side here, Liam, as King 6 suited is off to the races with Jack 4 of diamonds.
We did see a couple of George's outs folded pre. That's why the percentages are low. Didn't bother him last time. We'll see how he fares this time.
Doing pretty well here. Remain to double up. It's going to be the last 3 jacks remaining in the deck to send Remain home. It's not one of them, and Remain will double up, and he's back to 1.1 million, exactly what every other person on this table wouldn't want to see. He's only got 14 bigs, but it's plenty for a player of his caliber. What if you put that one in the end in, do you think, Lamp?
Yeah, look, as I was saying, Remain's obviously going to be finding a bunch of hands that Jack High is ahead of, you know, a bunch of suited 10x and 9x and 8x. So, you know, you are going to be ahead of a bunch of hands, but then at the same time, doubling up Remain is pretty grim. Obviously, the price isn't terrible. He's already got a big in there, plus the ante. Was only about 6 big blinds.
Can get on board either way. Expert analysis here from the Melburnian Liam Jehu, third in the Goliath this series for 27k. As Corey has the 8-9 suited.
160.
Liz snap calls the 7s here.
Yeah, that's fine.
A bit happening here. George K with the ace jack of diamonds. That's a call. Oh no, that's a lot of red chips. More than I originally thought. That is a 3-bet to 640 for a third of his stack.
What's yours, Rick? Yeah, I fold.
Liz inquisitive here looking at George K's 3-bet. I've seen Liz get a little bit spicy in these spots before. Be interesting to see what happens here. Looks interested, does Liz Busson, and puts that one in the mark. She weighs up her options with CVJ on her right. Still in the chip lead, 3.1 million, as we're going to be here for a while. We might even be able to finish this event off tomorrow. A couple of players with bags in the main, so let's see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the idea. We're all trying.
3 fold, 2 4 fold.
12.
George here with the Queen Jacko on the button. Open it up. Ooh, Aiden. Ace Jack of Hearts here in the big blind. He's playing about 21 big blinds. Pretty gorgeous hand to go all in with.
Feels like it. Those look like all-in eyes to me, Liam.
All in.
Yeah, it's going in the middle, and we'll get a snap bin from Georgie K. Doesn't want to fold the Queen Jack. Maybe I spoke too soon, but they're going in the mark.
Just got to have a little hand funeral, mate. Hand
Gotta have
funeral.
one.
Throw a wake for the Queen Jacko and move on. Never nice to fold 2 picture cards on the button, is it?
Absolutely not. Stacks have evened out here a little. Anyone's game. Liz Busson still in the chip lead.
It's been in waves for Elizabeth. It was real quick at the start. Then it was quiet, and then she's starting to get a decent distribution now as well. It's been in little spurts as we see Remain pick up a very good hand here. Some may say.
Could even be the best hand in No Limit Hold'em.
I find when people ask like what your favorite hand is, a lot of people will say like Jack 10 suited or something, or like 7-6 suited. And when they ask me, I just say aces.
It has to be aces, right? Let's see if there's any action here.
Ooh.
Aiden, Queen Jack suited. What are we thinking here, Liam? Just call?
GTO land loves to jam these suited broadways in the small blind. Obviously, that's more so in Chippy. It tightens up a little bit in theory. Wow, that's just...
He's a genius. He's actually a genius. Queen Jack of Diamonds into the mark. Goodness gracious.
Theory does like to jam those suited broadways in the small blind. You could definitely... we were actually talking about this recently, about one of these spots where we were just like thinking of how to deviate and be more ICM aware. Our action flop here, top pair and a gutter for Corey as he defends the big. could definitely get around all options, really, like calling,
This could be, I don't know.
calling, jamming, 3-betting less than all in.
Snap check back here from Romain.
That looks like a 3-side on the turn.
Maybe a 5.
It's a wizardry fold, really.
It's Aiden showing why he's all class with that fold. It's one of those ones at times we find on stream and look like an absolute genius, which he is, as Corey leads this turn on the 7-9-8-8. Can't see Romain doing anything other than calling here. SBR about 1.5, maybe a little less.
An 8 would be a disaster. Well, that is a 3-side. Looks like a spade, though. It's probably a 7. Oh, my
It's a 9.
goodness.
CVJ bangs home 3 of a kind on the river. He was dead to the last 2 9s in the deck as well. Sorry, he could have hit a 10 too, but this is more action. More of an action card than a 10 would have been, as Corey has the best possible full house. Can you see Romain getting away from this?
It's going to depend on the sizing. We've seen Corey tend to deviate from the all-in sizes. So it'll be interesting to see what size he goes here. He could go for something like half pod or 40%. He could also get greedy and go for the lot. I mean, I know I'd go all in, but I mean, it's pretty brutal when Romain checks back flop, and he's obviously so under reps, right?
480.
Does go for the
You were right, Liam. You've called that in.
about 55% there, and Romain absolutely in the blender here.
Yeah, he's just calling this off, isn't he? As he puts those chips in the middle, he's going to see the bad news. That is a disgusting beat for Romain Morvan. He's going to have just north of 4 bigs left after that hand. You called that one, Liam. Glad to have you in the booth for a hand like that. You and I probably both would have jammed, but you called in the fact that Corey might go to that type of size. So we've seen him do that before.
I think, I think he does that. Ada, obviously, he's going to get called more often in the sense that the opposition's going to get a better price, but also I think when he is bluffing, the damage isn't as significant. I mean, it gives him more, basically room to play if he calls and loses when bluffing. So could definitely understand why he goes for those sizings. Romain now crippled to just under 4 big blinds here.
Yeah, I just called 80, so your option. You can check or you can raise. Check. Check.
Died 3 hours ago, but she soldiered on.
Nice hand. I was a fan. It's pretty sick.
It's like, if you don't, it'll be fun.
You reckon? It would have cost you all 3 of your time banks.
Romain did just let Corey know, or well, asked him what he rated the river out of 10. I think Corey said it was a 9 out of 10. We do tend to see, we've seen it before, a couple players on the table, when big blind is short, they like to open up or VPip more. Have you noticed that, Jinxie?
Oh, absolutely.
We're seeing here George. I don't think he would ever VPip this hand in this spot, but because Romain has 3 bigs in the big blind, he's decided to VPip this. I think there's a few reasons for that, because I think obviously because Romain's such a good player as well. It's kind of like that satellite mentality where they kind of want to like get him out, secure the pay jump. Yeah. Jigsy says, not me, mate. I've got ace queen.
Yeah, that's right.
2-4 fold.
Well, this is it. Liam, what do you think here? This probably has to go in, doesn't it?
Yeah. 2 Broadway cards, the ante, the limp. Obviously not loving this against Jigsy's range. It's pretty strong, but there's a lot of juice in there. He actually gets up almost to 10 bigs if he was to win it all in here. So, and yeah, I think George really wants to knock Romain out, which I don't blame him.
The money's worth the last one, though.
Hey?
Romain Morvan looking to triple up here.
Great equity against the hands.
He's doing really well in this specific spot.
I had like a really nice hand.
Gutter ball there for Romain. Top pair for Jigsy. Georgie K should be out of this one pretty soon as Jigs checks this one back.
No idea.
Romain turns second pair. Got that straight draw as well.
I thought about jamming. Yeah.
Romain's going to assume he's probably got the best hand here.
Yeah, I think so too, but he's going to see the bad news. He's going to have 9 outs once. 2 of them are folded. We're going to need a jack, 9 or a 10 for Romain Morvan to stick around with us here in the grind. It's not there. The 7 of clubs on the river, and we will lose Romain Morvan in 6th place for $9,000. I reckon it's a pretty good score, but I think he'd be pretty disappointed with how things eventuated, given the chips he had when he entered the final table. Liam, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, such a talented player, and once he does get himself into that chip lead position, you know, we've been there before where you've had chip lead, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 handed and not being able to convert. It's obviously upsetting. I mean, his hand with the aces was super unfortunate. Once he checks back flop, it's pretty hard for him to fold, especially against a player as capable as Corey when there was, you know, a million draws that had missed. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you max late reg day 2 and turn that into about 8 buy-ins, you can't really complain. So
certainly cannot. The max late reg king is Romain.
Give me a V. It sounds like that tournament's more fun.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna be half card, having a good time, or maybe it's just Connor.
yeah, maybe just Connor's having a better time. That was one hell of a river you hooked me up with there, Jacob.
As we do lose Romain there in 6th place. 5 left, playing for 46,000.
Hey?
And we've just received some news that
That probably means
they're going to look to bag up in about 20 to 25 minutes time, no matter what happens. Obviously, we're not going to get to a winner tonight, so if you're interested in sticking around and watching the roller coaster ride that Liz has put us on, Jigs, Reyes closing in on Liz's chip lead, but we'll be here for another 20 minutes at least, maybe 25, as we'll look to bag up halfway through the next level, and we'll return tomorrow at 5 p.m. local time. And we're not sure what we'll do with the stream if we'll play
No,
the
not
main
quite.
early on or we'll
Maybe
finish
if I
the
was
grind
first,
on
unless you
stream,
have-
but
yeah.
we'll bag up
We
in
have,
20
like,
minutes' time.
Absolutely.
So it'll be myself and Liam seeing you through until then, and we'll come back tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the afternoon to finish this one off.
Yeah.
Nope.
The players will be pretty tired now, Liam. It's 3 a.m. local time.
We don't
Liz,
we don't have sleep in big blinds.
you know, it's pretty incredible. She's got to this point. She is 80, but she did mention on stream at about 12 o'clock she was getting tired.
Chuck in 5K.
Yeah.
Heads up. Check.
As we do a recap around the room, that 450 big freeze, we mentioned Connor Burns on the FT of that one. You might hear some commotion in the background. It looks like Connor's taken that one down.
He actually is down money in the tournament after the vodka lime sodas consumed.
As I do have an answer for the streaming for tomorrow. We will stream the main event from middle in the afternoon, and once I apologise. We're going to stream this down to a winner, so we can't go anywhere with the grind. We've been with you for 2 days. We can't miss out on a winner tomorrow, so we'll be with you down to a winner of this event tomorrow afternoon when we come back at 5 o'clock, and then once that winner is confirmed, we're going to move over to the main event, and by about that time, we should be closing in on the final table of the main. So we'll be back with you tomorrow around 5 o'clock. But for now, we've got about 20 minutes left of play that will bring you, myself and Liam to the very end. Appreciate your contribution. If you can hear that commotion in the background, it does look like Connor has taken out the big freeze for 9,500. I can't imagine where else that sound would be coming from. And it looks like he has taken that down. $9,500 to Connor Burns. Came into the final table with 44 bigs. As he takes the final tournament down on the Saturday. Tomorrow is the main event. We're going to finish the grind. Liam, you've got a bag in the main off one bullet. How are you feeling about that?
We talk about this. You see, we say that people that bag average stack or above average stack, that's a min cash stack, or that's a 14th position stack.
Correct.
When you bag 50k, which is just above start stack one bullet, that's a main event champion stack right there. So
100% agree. I hope so. But what else, if you do bust, let's just say you do, we'll be looking at something like the Beast, because the Beast starts at $11.30, $450 buy-in. We've also got the $1,100 big closer, and even the PLO 5 $250. What are we thinking tomorrow if we do bust the main?
what time's the 1100 on?
4:30.
It'll be the straight into the Beast for me, and then
Late reg at $850 for the 1100.
yeah, straight into the Beast for me. It's such a good tournament. And then,
40k guarantee as well on the Beast.
yeah, it's a good tournament. Very good tournament. Always gets a great turnout. Bit of a Yan Wenyi kind of tournament.
He's won the Beast before,
He
the great
is.
Yan.
So yeah, I'll play that if I bust, and then I could be sick of poker. But once I bust the Beast, I might call it a day. I could also be about 8 beers deep in the 250 PLO 5 as well. So that's also an option.
That's a trophy you've won before, isn't it? The PLO 5.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a 450 when I won it. It was a bit. I think it was bigger. Won it for about 6k. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that
okay.
one had about 110 runners, and it had about 30 unique. So tends to be the way with the PLO tournaments, especially of the 5-card variety.
And we see you in the $120 Sunday Turbo Bounty self-dealt at the end of the day at 5:30.
I think I'd probably, if I was going to play, be in the 1100 at that time. But Look, I've got nothing wrong with respecting the game in the self-told streets. I actually do it frequently, especially for the
Townsville.
Player of the Series promotions. You'll see me in the self-told streets, but boy, it does get hard. Because even in the Player of the Series races, when you're getting that Saturday, Sunday period, you've played 12 hours a day for a week straight, and you got to sit down in the self-told streets. Boy, it's hard.
Liz has used another one of her time banks here. As it is an all-time celebration in the background for Connor Burns' big freeze $9,500 win as we continue to bring coverage to you for the grind. Got about 10 to 15 minutes left before we bag up and come back tomorrow at 5 p.m. That's when our stream will start, about 25 past 5, unless something changes tomorrow. And when we bring you the winner of this, we'll move straight on to the main event. Hopefully Liam is still in. Chris Kokonos up here with us as well. Have you got a bag in the main, Chris?
I do. I've got about 250.
250. That is good for about 33rd, I'd say. 250k.
Well, it's a series save for me, mate.
Yeah, okay. So we're working with a fair few chips there. What's the level tomorrow? How many bigs is that? Do you know?
Finishing on 1.5. Oh, I think, is there a replay of level?
Really?
I think
Well,
it
you've got
might
about 80
be.
bigs. You're cruising.
Yeah, there's been they replayed the Goliath and they replayed the grind. So.
A large stack. This tournament goes chiefly in this one, and here I am with God.
That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But maybe I feel like 250 is a stack you can win off. If it was anything more, you'd be drawing dead. But 250 I feel is pretty good.
Yeah, bagging chip lead, it's just too much. Too much expectation.
What I will say is Nathaniel Hutton has the all-time record for the biggest stack bagged in the APT May, 19 starts. And you'll see his banner in the room here. He turned that into a victory, 19 start stack.
I don't know how much.
When I chopped up the APT Main in 2022, I bagged about a courageous 70k off one bullet.
No, yeah, well, mate, tomorrow could be the day.
It was a courageous 70k, and I should have won.
Yeah, of course.
But still, it's those courageous one bullet sub 100k bags are.
They turn into something.
Yeah, that was back when it was a 30k start stack though.
Ah, okay, yeah. It's 40k now, right?
Yeah, 40k.
Yeah, but he had an ace, so it's maybe a good mistake. Yeah. Yeah.
CVJ very sprightly for this early hour. Yeah, we're not far away from bagging. In fact, this could be our last hand. As I see bags in the hand of our TD, the clock has paused. This is our last hand.
It might be 3.
Three?
They might do 3.
Okay, we'll see what happens
We'll
here.
see what happens. Oh, CVJ's up. It might be the last hand. You know what they say about the last hand?
Something always happens.
I find that I tend to, we'll say, slightly wide in the opening range in the last hand. I feel like people they always just want to put the chips in the bag.
As you are right, Lamb. I reckon we've got 2 more hands here. No, that's it. That was the last hand as we go on to pause this tournament, and we'll be back tomorrow with you at 25 past 5 unless things change. If they do, keep an eye out on our social media pages, especially Facebook. Liam Jihu, I really appreciate your time in the booth with us all night. It was incredible insight. You're great at this, so I'm really glad you were able to share your time with us tonight. Thanks for coming into the booth.
Thanks for having me, mate. Talk to you soon.
No worries. We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck in the main event. The stream will be on as we get to a culmination of the grind and then the main towards Sunday night. We'll see you tomorrow.